just had like a talk with him like before this set happened. Is that he actually kind of went through like a little bit of a character crisis going into it. I mean, it's just one of those things happen when you're going to the new game. Just like, do I really want to kind of hold on to what I knew from the previous game?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
But and after a while, he's just like, you know, I still have fun playing Fox, and Fox is actually still pretty good in this game. So I just, you know, let it rock.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, core Fox, so basically the same. Just be fast and be in your opponent's face, and then don't let up. That's Fox for you. It hasn't really changed that much in that sense.
Yeah, and Dom has always been a very, very solid player with Fox, and it'd be interesting to see how he kind of handles being in this new game.
Yeah, and it's cool to see Dan still playing the same character as well. I know for a while he was sort of having a crisis with Mario when the game first came out, and he was like, what do I do with this character now? And then Dan, like, a couple days later was like, oh, that's what I do. Fair enough. He's getting off to a pretty fast start, too. He racked up a lot of damage on Dom, but Dom's starting to slowly chip his way back into this game.
Yeah, he's starting to find out just kind of the things that he got to do in neutral to kind of get back into his favor. Like, he's utilizing Nair a lot, just kind of using that as an approach tool.
Yeah. How much like of a difference do you think? I know side B for Fox is like worse, but how way worse is it? Like honestly.
Well, I mean, obviously it doesn't cross up anymore on Shield, and that's honestly that's the biggest thing about it.
Ooh, but that still works the same way as it does in Smash 4 up smash, baby.
And the other thing that honestly makes at least this matchup kind of peculiar is that you kind of have to hang back on really committing to a recovery, because that shine, it doesn't stall you multiple times anymore. You can only get one stall with the shine off stage now.
Right, yep.
So you really do have to commit yourself to being on point with the recovery. Like right here, like he's showing how to be really smart with it. Like he's waiting just until like he's just waiting at the right moment, saving his jumps until he's right next to the stage. Doing a really good job.
Dom sort of is starting to run away with this game, though. He's racking up quite a bit of damage right now, and he's really found his rhythm so far with Fox. And like you said before, his recoveries were good too. Dan got a good up smash a little earlier, but aside from that, Dom has really worked his way back into this game.
He's starting to he's not afraid to box with Dan in the neutral, and just like that, like he's trying to find these conversions. And that Nair up smash almost killed.
Yeah, it did. I'm almost a little surprised it didn't, because he is very close. Sent him very, very high, and that back air sent him very, very far. This one's gonna kill actually.
So not Dom with the lead, in a pretty good situation right now. Now as Fox, when you have a lead like this is where you can kind of pseudo start to slow the game down to your fit. Like you have options where you can either like keep the pressure going and get your opponent to like play on their toes. Yeah. Or you can actually like slow the game, because Fox has the speed and the kind of hit and run game plan. You can like play a hit and run style and like slow the game down just a little bit.
Yeah, Dom has been able to convert a lot of these up tilts though that have thrown Dan off, and that has led to a lot of extra damage on his part.
All right, nice going low and the good angle keeping him safe there.
Yeah. Dom showing that this new side B recovery isn't everything terrible everyone once thought about it. It's still pretty decent in getting back to stage from far away.
Oh, what nice parry.
All right, back air. Once again, back on stage and successfully back.
I like that he uses the side B just as a pure movement option, just to get back into the center of the stage. All right, now 1 second piece, but has a percent lead. Dan does have to watch out, because if he does get hit by strain air, it could lead into up smash. I think we're at that kind of range where Dom can get any sort of conversion off of that. Yeah.
See if Dan can work his way back into this. One's going to be rough. Got to watch out for that up air, though, because it's just as strong. Yeah, nice. Dom going to take that game 1-0. It's actually good to see Dom again. I haven't seen him on stream in quite a while.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like I've always been the proponent that Dom has been one of like the slept-on foxes in this region. Like, we've had over the course of Smash 4's history, we've had a lot of really cool Fox mains come out. Like off the top of my head, the three that come off the top of my head have always been Slojo, Snoofle, and Dom.
Absolutely. Yeah, I 100% agree with you. He was playing a little bit towards the end of Smash 4's lifespan, and then sort of you know, took a break like a lot of other people did. So seeing him back here in Ultimate, crushing it with a character, a lot of people were like, "Oh, this character's bad now," and Dom's like, "What? Excuse me?"
Honestly, like, I never will say that like a character that was good in 4 is like considered like universally like bad in this game.
Yeah, it really hasn't been proven to me like that any character is just not viable anymore. Some characters have definitely been nerfed. Bayonetta. But
hey, Bayonetta's still also
But
good.
She's still pretty good. Like,
yes.
A lot of people just sleep on her, but she still does some wacky stuff.
Yeah. But in no means is it like like, here's the thing. You gotta, it's all subjective.
Yeah.
And it's like, yes, they have like bad tools, but does that make them a bad character? No.
No, not at all.
You gotta look at it like, because like for me, my definition is just like, if they just can't do anything. Like, Smash 4 Puff was a bad character.
It's rough.
Smash 4 Ganon was a bad character.
Yeah, yeah.
Fox in this game, not a bad character.
No, not at all. I mean,
Dom's definitely showing it. He's going really even with Dan right now, like trying to like keep in his face, keep it with him, boxing really well.
Yeah, he's
Oh, he got burned for that.
He actually died from that too. Wow.
See, like, and that's honestly the tricky thing with Fox up B recovery is that it still has a pretty sizable hitbox on it, so that you need to kind of be aware of where you place that forward. Like, you gotta like space it off stage.
Yeah.
Like, it's not anymore just like run off and it's like, okay, it'll just kind of sort itself out.
Oh, that's rough. He just missed that ledge too, and that's the thing. While Dom has been pretty good at making these recoveries back to stage, it's still scary to go against Mario knowing he's got Flood on hand, and he knows now you're going to go low every time. So you try to mix up, and then you go, well, what do I do? And then you just die.
Jab combo, getting him off stage. Starting to kind of challenge Mario air to air with the Nair.
Yeah.
I do like that. Like that's one option that I feel like Dom has been shown that one of the tools that you definitely are going to be using a lot more with Fox is just using that Nair to challenge as they're coming in.
And that's been the theme of this match. Dom has just been very good at throwing Dan off balance. Whenever it seems like he's stringing something together, Fox just like up tilts or nairs and he stops it, and then he starts one of his own combos.
Oh, that was brave.
That was a really
that was brave.
He stuck right under that fireball.
I like it. I like it. He's showing that he's not scared.
Yeah, hit him with a tail whip.
That's the courage. That's the gusto coming through.
Yeah,
that's like Dom's always played Fox like that, with just a little bit of gusto in it.
Yeah, if you're
a little bit of oomph.
Oh no!
Speaking of oomph,
that's a little too much oomph. You gotta bring back the oomph at that point. You can't be running into smash attacks.
All right, here we go. Once again, getting into the mix.
Nice
weak hit of up smash. That is really unfortunate.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, Dan's coming right back into this game now. A lot of momentum in his favor, and it's showing. 72 damage already on Dom, and it's only growing.
Yeah, he's starting to adapt to a lot of Dom's defensive options.
Ooh.
Yeah, and that's a little bit too... Oh, no! I spoke too soon.
A little bit too far for Mario, maybe.
That tripped me up. Oh, and there you go. Trying for the Nair out of shield, was expecting some sort of option.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, like, Dan was starting to, like, contest, like, just trying to jump at him to contest any of that Nair out of shields. But now he's starting to kind of bring it back a little bit, adapt, realizing, okay, well, maybe on the ground I should just, like, keep my feet planted. Because the thing is that Nair crossing up that way, it's not as, like, that cross-up hitbox isn't as strong as it was in Smash 4. So you do have the opportunity where it's not like in the previous game where it's just like a free cross-up no matter what.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got some leeway, and you even got like time to like dash back if you react fast enough.
Yeah. And you know, I think from both these two so far, it's really starting to get into like mind game territory now. Like, both of these two competitors are trying to figure out what each one of them is doing, because basically, if you notice from both of them, when they start a combo, someone just gets offset by one move, and then they get mixed up and somebody starts doing something else. And then someone will hit some sort of smash attack. The only thing that's really significant to bring up is Dan's attempts of edge guarding. Most of them, Dom has been able to avoid quite impressively.
Yeah. Like, that's the thing with Fox's recovery. It's like, one of those. It's one of those things where it's kind of tough to edge guard if you don't space your stuff properly.
Yeah. Dan getting off to a fast start, just like in game 1, but Dom was able to bring that one back.
Yeah. So now this is the adaptation from Dan coming in. It's like Dan has always been a player who knows how to adapt to situations really quick. So all it really took was just like a couple of games. Now he's got the game plan down, and it's gonna make it very hard for Dom to make like any sort of comeback.
Yeah.
Especially like you don't want to be one stock down in a game 3 against Dan because he keeps that momentum and he just does not let go of it. Here we go.
Nice.
The mix.
Yeah, that was really good. Re-grabbing him again and hitting that up B combo. That's become so much more infamous in this game than it was in Ultimate. Nice.
Caped him down onto the platform too, even for good measure. Dan is just cooking right now.
Yeah, once again, he's got Dom on the ledge too. Even when he hasn't been able to successfully edgeguard Dom, he's read his getbacks onto stage quite a few times, and he's also going to read that jump, ladies and gentlemen. Hit him with another up smash.
Up throw, just trying to get some sort of advantage over Dan. Trying to force him to maybe land on top, but Dan, he's now found his way to sneak back down. So Dom's just kind of playing on the back foot right now.
Yep.
And he's trying to space with just grounded normals, down tilt. But just nothing's working. He can't convert off of anything into these high percents. And once again, falling into those grabs, it's so deadly. You don't want to get fallen into the mix.
Yeah, and honestly, even at like 120, that's quite a bit of damage, but...
The lingering hit of that flood, and that's going to be it. Just pops him right up into the F smash.
Yeah, that was a rough game 3. That was 2 very close games from 2 very close competitors. But like you said before, Dan, like, he had it on lock that game 3. He read everything.
That's honestly, that's the most dangerous thing about Dan. Was like he's the only player that I really know that if you like get an advantage on him game 1, he'll like adapt to you the very next game. And he's like, he can just turn on a switch in his head and just be like, you know what, you're just not getting any more.
Yeah,
I've decided.
The funny thing about Dan is like when I think of a lot of Mario players, I think of like, oh, really combo heavy, racks up a lot of damage fast with throw combos. Dan, he does that, but that's not what I think of when I think of Dan. I honestly think Dan is like a wizard. I'm pretty sure he's psychic. Like he just reads minds, and the more you play against him, the more he's gonna be able to read your mind and do stuff like that. He 3 stocks a really, really solid Fox, and that's, you know, that's not easy to do.